But so back when EDF Iron Rain was coming out, they were doing like a presentation at PAX East 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And companions will use stackable spirits on equipment or keepsakes that will assist Cassidy in combat. Huh. Alright. But so PAX West 2019, I did like a private demo with them. And then they were like, hey, by the way,
We used that private demo.
No. Apparently the original plan was to actually have me use the private demo myself. But, let's see, what abilities do I have?
But how could you? Because you didn't bring a camera with you.
Well, I was supposed to have had a flash drive, and they had them on hand. They thought it was running, and they were like, oh yeah, we forgot. And I was like, whatever, it's fine. Because, you know, I'm not like professional like print media.
Aren't we in one of those videos for a game about?
Oh, Summoner's Fate?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, we did that one. That's got a demo on Steam. We should probably load up at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But so, let's see. So they after they did the demo, kind of showing it off. I was like, oh, okay, this is really fun. Thanks so much. And they're like, can we actually like interview or like do like a quick interviewee thing? And I'm just like, oh no, because I was not like ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, all right, and your real name is like this and this, and I'm like, oh. Can you just use Wanderbot? And they're like, no, we want your real name. And I'm like, oh, this is all right. Not a big deal. I probably should have said no, but I didn't want to be rude. But also, like, I don't know if I care.
So the one thing that would scare me is that aren't things like house ownership on public record?
Yeah. I'm
surprised. I'd be surprised
the
if much
older I
larger
get,
celebrities and YouTubers.
There's a couple of things that kind of work in my favor. Most of my audience is older. Not like older, but like, oh, this is neat.
Ooh. Exchange? Spend 20% health to get one bomb?
Yeah.
Wait, you just did that?
Yeah.
Oh, well then.
There's a couple of healing potions I've left behind, so it's not a big deal.
I mean, at this point, I don't know. It is interesting to think of. I mean, for artists and actors and other things. I mean, some of them might have changed their name.
I
know that there's plenty of authors and musicians and such that have pen names or personas. Because, for instance, I never knew it, but I suppose Rihanna. Her name isn't actually Rihanna.
Of course not.
It was like something. It was It was something Fenty, or so it's interesting because I mean I can understand people just wanting to have a singular name, and obviously Lady Gaga is not Lady Gaga.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess from my perspective, I doubt most people will try and figure out where I live.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying some people will take that as a challenge.
It's true.
Please don't take that as a challenge.
I will call the cops.
Well, that's the thing. Then there's also the people that call cops on you, which is terrible.
And that is something I'd be more worried about, though. Historically, it's police departments are getting at least somewhat better.
Mm-hmm. Well, and at this point, I think people recognize that it's an issue and will hopefully press proper charges.
I know when we moved here and also in Kansas, we had like called in and said like, hey, you know, this is a thing that people might specifically do at our address, and I was like trying to just inform them that it was a thing, and they just like had never heard of swatting before, and I'm like, how do you not hear about this stuff on the news?
But then wasn't there a man killed
recently?
In Kansas? Yes. Or was there one more recently?
There have been a couple of people killed by swatters. Wand of Blasting. Oh, yeah, that's really good. Oh, but it does less damage. Nah, I'm still gonna use it. Really hate the idea of swatting. Right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most... It's one of the most cowardly ways to attack a person. Which is effectively...
Well, they're essentially crying wolf and mismanaging... Well, they're deceiving law enforcement and creating an emergency where there isn't one.
Mm-hmm.
I think they said something along the lines that to mobilize those groups is thousands and thousands of dollars as well. So that's costing, you know, town and taxpayer money for false claims.
Oh, I did get hit by that.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if, with all of the new legislation that's been coming out and being proposed about the internet, if there aren't going to be more measures used to identify and properly be able to prosecute people who abuse online platforms and things of that nature.
I hope so. The problem is, in a lot of cases, it might also be people, like, out of the country, which is a lot tougher to manage. There we go. Let's see, most of the people that have been swatted were streaming when they were swatted. Why didn't they just check their channel? You mean the police?
They don't know what their usernames are. I think they're just given an address.
Yeah. So for example, like if I was swatted, for example, highly unlikely anyone would even realize. Highly unlikely anyone would even realize it's like, oh yeah, this is Wanderbots' house. You know, what is he up to? Oh, not murder. Okay. You know, maybe you could pull that off in like a smaller town.
But no, it's definitely needs to be better means to trace these and bring people who abuse and misuse those avenues for... Yep. But in any case, it's getting onto some dark topics, though.
Yeah.
How did we even get onto that?
I don't remember.
It was about names and showing oneself on camera.
People
and interviews. It was interviews.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. About the Cassidy being a bit squeamish about the idea of her name being put in the local paper.
Yeah, the thing is, if it was a real emergency, like a bomb threat or active hostage situation, time would have been of the essence, which is why they can't delay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder if it happens anymore, but do you remember back in... It was definitely high school for me, when it was so common for there to be notes dropped on the floors of bathrooms about bomb threats, and then the whole school would have to evacuate or go into lockdown.
I think fake bomb threats are still a thing.
Still are?
Yeah.
Looking back, I wonder how many weeks worth of school I technically missed because of all of those false alarms. I think they eventually caught the kids at my school that were doing it. But it wasn't isolated to just my area. Didn't you experience that?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a series of bomb threats. Means red pits. That's not bad. These are okay, though. But yeah, there was a series of, like, bomb threats, and they brought in, like, a metal detector and locked everybody down for a while. And, yeah, I mean, it took, like, a month. They never closed the school to my knowledge. Or, like, sent anybody home. Ow. Ow. There we go. Unfortunately, I have to pay attention to the... Damn it.
I think I remember one day, it was so close to the end of school. At that point, teachers were just saying, well, we're going to be sitting out here for hours. If any of you want to go home and have the means to go home, you can. Some people had cell phones at the time, but I was within walking distance to my house. And so a lot of friends and I just walked home, given the permission to leave. Because I think we had our books and our backpacks with us. Or maybe the backpacks were left in the locker, but oh well. I think I had what was necessary for homework. Oh, the constant noise. How do people deal with it? It's just so overwhelming. So much stimulus all the time. Looking forward to when I can have a restful sleep again. Yep, that's another reason why I wouldn't want to live in the city. Noise.
We just recycle it.
I'm going to consume more of this chocolate.
I'm hungry. I could definitely go for a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. Away from that. Don't hurt self.
What's the weirdest reason why your school ever closed down? Didn't yours flood at one point?
Yep.
Was it just sitting in a low-lying area?
Very much. Yeah. Damn it.
Oh.
Meant to dodge. Didn't work. The longer levels, the one downside to them
is you have that much more to complete.
Yeah. Means much more opportunity to take damage. It'll be worth it though, but power cord.
Ooh. Rock out and send your foes reeling.
Seems okay. Photo from a trip abroad.
Photo from a trip abroad? No, wait, look, she's in the corner. Allison.
Yeah.
Allison and Cassidy gush over a classic fantasy novel. Interest revealed, fantasy. Another handmade coaster? Thank you so much for lending me that anthology, by the way. I've nearly finished it. Already? Damn, that took me a month to get through. I have trouble getting started on books sometimes. But once I open them, the bigger problem is putting them down again. Does that ever happen for you? I don't read as much as I probably should. I'm having a lot of trouble keeping up with anything that isn't a comic right now. Don't know why. It happens. My friend says that for him, it was 'cause he was looking to get away from the things eating him from up inside. Wait, heating him up inside? Okay. That makes sense. I always read the most when I went camping with my family, or I always read the most when I went camping with my family. Mom would always read to us at the end of each day while Dad made dinner. We were all going out to the woods for an escape, I guess. I've never been camping. I like the idea, but the thought of Being surrounded by bugs makes my skin crawl. Like, what if I'm sleeping and a centipede runs over my leg? Gonna have to lose the leg. No! I like my leg. I've got a tattoo on it and everything. Hey, I've gotta go. Game night this weekend? I want to ask more camping questions. Yeah.
Okay, the one thing I want to check. Yep.
Who's manning this place?
No one.
I see no one behind the counter.
I want to try the biting dagger. Let's see. Influences. So ability damage, range damage, fire damage, critical damage, armor, lightning damage, and run speed. So frustratingly enough, Rose is actually pretty good.
Oh, you can only choose one influence at a time?
I think so, yeah. Ooh, Fernando, though. Extra armor, bigger parry window, which is big. Bruce's ain't terrible. Don't care too much for Tamal. Let's see. Not big on Eve. Allison is okay. Guess we're gonna equip Fernando's and potentially work on him if we can. There we go.
Oh, look at that.
No, can't chit chat.
Oh, Fernando again.
Gift. Oh, he likes handmade coasters.
He does?
Yep.
Eve tells Cassidy an elaborate story.
Storytelling. And I'm out of coasters. We daydream for it. Something.
You can only do a 25, or you can save up for something else.
Chance to spawn a challenge room.
Higher quality puzzle rewards.
I should work on that, but I want more special rooms. Can't chit-chat with Bruce. Can't chit-chat with Tamal. And we need more gifts, so I can't do much. Oops, wrong one. Meditate. Oh, the parry window. I guess I'll do that one. Let's see, damage resistance, obstacles, and traps, bomb damage, and these are okay. Alright, I think, do you want to do one more run? Yeah, let's do one more run, and then stop because I'm hungry.
I would like to have plans someday.
High school got rock feed an explosion in the chem lab. Senior accidentally blew up a wall. His friend replaced a few of the chemicals he was working on with other stuff as a joke.
What? They blew up a wall?
Huh.
Is that what closed down? Is that what closed down your school story?
That's what somebody says over there. Not
well, over there. I know. Not you, over there. The story, I suppose, I don't know if it'll be in the same episode as my initial question, but one of the oddest ones for my hometown was that the fuel on our school buses... Oh, wait, there's a ghost by the car.
Yeah, they disappear if I get close, though.
Oh.
We're looking for a yellow glow.
Mm-hmm. The fuel in our school buses froze. And so, while the snow wasn't bad for that particular day, and it might not have warranted having a full-on snow day, the fact that it was cold enough to freeze the fuel in the buses meant that they couldn't get the buses running. At which point they went, well, can't get the kids to school, so snow day, everyone. And I think it actually persisted for at least 2 days, perhaps. I'm trying to remember. But then in subsequent years, I forget if they updated the canisters in which the fuel was stored, or if they had to have some kind of antifreeze additive, or I don't know what they could do to prevent the fuel from freezing. But I know that they had to make some upgrades to the buses themselves or the fuel that they were using in order to prevent them from experiencing that in the future.
I'm trying to think of other things that got my school canceled. Something in the middle school broke.
Mm.
And I remember...
Double Jeopardy? Or you're not taking
That's the one that makes me take double damage. Is really rough. Let's see. But yeah, something in the middle school broke. Poison is not as good as I was hoping it would be, but the daggers are fun. But effectively, they had to move the middle schoolers over to the high school.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is just after my brother graduated or something. But effectively, they had to do like a split schedule, high schoolers and middle schoolers out of one school for a while. And apparently that was like awful.
Mm-hmm. I know that sometimes when they're building a new school, what they might do is consolidate the students that they have from multiple schools.
Oh, maybe that's just what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did renovate the high school.
Yeah, that could have been.
I mean, gosh, even nowadays you can straight up just point to like COVID locking everything down. Which I feel kind of just, I'm not gonna say bad about, but it's just like, I can't imagine what education is like nowadays. I was reading an article about how, like, some people straight up didn't get the chance to go to middle school because of COVID.
Because essentially they were missing out on 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, middle school is only 3 years long for us.
It was 2 years for me when I lived down in California.
Wait, did you skip a year ahead?
No.
Or did your elementary school go longer?
Yeah, elementary school went to 6th grade. And then 7th and 8th were middle school, and it was like a smaller middle school, but smaller, more focused. And then it would shunt people off to, let's say, more specialized high school, but...
Yeah, it was kindergarten through 5th for my elementary, and then 6th through 8th for middle, and then 9th through 12th for high school. But yeah, and then also too, I have a couple of cousins that have just graduated, and depending on what majors they were, some of them were perfectly fine with graduating the way they did. But I had other cousins that were starting school, starting college, and that kind of messed things up because in the circumstances of one, she had a quad with 3 other girls for a dormitory, and the first week of school, the 2 of the local colleges had a big party,
Yep.
or at least kids from them had a big party, and what do you know, COVID started spreading, and one of the girls that was in her dormitory was at that party, and so everyone had to get quarantined and tested and then sent home. And at that point it was, they paid for the semester.
Yep.
And didn't really get anything out of it. And I think they tried to do online classes, but
I don't know.
She gave up on going back a second year to just go out and work.
I don't know where I'd be if I was still in education. Like, I cannot help but feel like I'm incredibly lucky. With
maybe
having graduated and having more than ample time to get my life in order.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the pandemic has made a lot of people into streamers, YouTubers, and
I've noticed
like
that. I was looking at
entrepreneurs.
I was looking at my friends list.
Yeah.
My friends list on Steam, a number of these people were, you know, just friends with me in high school that I'd never removed it, and they've all started Twitch channels at this point. Like, you can tell because all of their names on like my friends list are just like twitch.tv / like George plays.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I always feel kind of bad because it's like, this is the worst time to start streaming, kind of, sort of.
Is it?
Kind of.
Is it?
I mean, there's a lot of people at home, but there's so much more competition.
Mm-hmm.
Different combinations of elemental damage to trigger critical extinguish. Deals additional damage. Good to know.
Critical extinguish.
Oh, that didn't work. Ow, that didn't work.
So you have a small health potion there. All those other doors seem to be blocked by those orbs.
Do I have the wrong shield? Is that what this is? Oh yeah, I do. Razorback shield.
Ah. Oh, so that's what it creates. A short-term row of spikes revolving around you or orbiting around your character. I like that. Snapping your fingers and freezing everything around you.
Yeah, unfortunately my character is not good against those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe my character. Maybe I'm just not good against those guys. Because they'll just, like, warp in. And it's, like, not to look down on anybody trying to stream, because I think it can be quite worthwhile. It's just one of those where... it's a weird job.
At the same time, I suppose people are treating it as their hobbies with the hopes that it becomes something more.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of doing it. I guess I'm just so used to people diving into it and being like, I'm going to become a streamer. And then it's just like a bad experience. Ow. As a result.
But I can definitely see people who, you know, they have a day job. Maybe they'll spend a couple hours a night playing games, and maybe some of them say, hey, why not stream it instead?
Yeah,
maybe
which I think is quite fair.
Build it into something. I think the only fault that one would have would be to expect instant success. But I mean, you struggle with it too.
Yeah.
Where you feel like you still need to do so much more, or that you could be so much more.
I mean, just obsessing over numbers is kind of the one that always sits in my head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go away for a week. Suddenly, I have like 100 less viewers than normal, and it's just like, oh, yeah, this is unfortunate. Oh gosh.
You can't take vacations.
Frankly, I prefer like a 3-day kind of vacation, staycation kind of deal. Longer than that is
right. But that's the thing. You need to have consecutive days in order to achieve that. And currently, the days off, or the days that you are supposed to take off of Twitch, you don't.
True. But part of it is, I will always struggle with this. I love playing video games.
And at this point, you can't play video games without it being recorded or streamed.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Because, I mean, even earlier, you were talking about, like, these people saying, like, well, I'm going to be playing a game for X number of hours, might as well stream it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this...
I remember when we initially started, there was definitely a point where I grappled with the idea of any future instance that we would play games together. We would always have to be performing and always have to having the foreknowledge of knowing that it's going to be uploaded and out there and work, and that it wasn't really something truly yours anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And by truly yours, I mean having those quiet moments when you just experience something. And you don't have to document it or put it out into the world for other people to see and comment on.
Yeah.
Because there is that underlying pressure. And I definitely feel like that with my artwork at this point. I've been taking an immensely long break, but I think that's just because social media and the hustle can be really toxic, especially to people in creative fields. Because then you have to question not only what your motivations are for creating...
It's Minesweeper.
This is Minesweeper?
Yes.
Oh, at this point I'm seeing 2, 1, 2, 3. So if you push that...
This is a bomb.
That's a bomb?
Yeah. This is a bomb. This is a bomb. This is a bomb. This is not a bomb. Because these are dark.
I see.
It just took me a bit. I was like, I had no idea what I was dealing with.
To know. Wasn't there an entire game that you had played that was essentially Minesweeper?
Demon Crawl?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Demon Crawl is real good. See, remember when you stream basically every day? Now it's good to take a couple days off. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thing is... Well, that was bad.
Well, and that's the thing.
I still work most days when I'm off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find new things that I can do to kind of get around that. Ow, rude.
Yeah, people...
Hate their first attack.
It's difficult to balance, but it should be achieved unless you experience, injury or burnout or something else. Because, yeah, when I was drawing and painting and editing every day, I eventually injured my wrist, and that put me out of commission for almost a year.
The thing that burns me out is always just like bad games and bad metrics where I'm just like, oh shoot.
Or if you really enjoy what you're doing and making, but it doesn't seem to be watched or appreciated enough, then you go, why did I bother?
Yeah, why am I putting in all this time?
I know
but that's like a weird, toxic, death loop.
Oh, I know. I'm just reminded of all the times when artists, work for hours on a beautiful painting and they're so proud of it. And, it gets some attention, but eh. And then, they doodle a small sketch and it, there's just a resounding, like, oh yeah, we love it. And you go, but wait, why?
Please look at my original stuff. It's good too, I promise.
Well, I wasn't even saying that the doodle had to be fan art.
Hey, thank you, Furion, for the 12-month resub. Year of wandering around the chat. Well, thank you.
Though fan art does probably get more attention just because of SEO. And fandom and searchability and yada yada.
Ow. Okay, that didn't work.
Yeah, you're very low health. Ouch.
Working on fixing it, but it's tough. Health potions are very infrequent.
What are those green things? Is that poison?
Yeah. I got the biting dagger.
Careful.
Okay. Really hoping some of these would drop some health potions. Unfortunately, those health potions do not heal much. Kunai.
Kunai.
Triggers the earthquake, deals 24 damage. Part of the problem is I keep grabbing Buste Fuego, and Buste Fuego is actually kind of really bad. It's like a melee centric.
You prefer long range.
I need a long ranged attack to deal with a couple of enemies. Especially if I don't have my parry.
I have chocolate smeared over my arm. I don't know how. Well, now it is.
I know how.
Why? I know I was eating chocolate
garbage
before.
trash woman.
Hey! It must have been a small sliver of chocolate that had somehow melted onto my flesh.
You're one of the messier eaters I've ever met.
Hey! I can be dainty. It depends on the food and how famished I am.
That's that last part that really does you in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when one is famished, you're a little bit too hasty.
Speaking of pizza tonight?
Yeah, we can put it in the oven at some point.
At some point. I never got another key.
But I don't know what we'd put on it unless you're okay with peppers and onions.
Pizza. You put pizza on it.
But you have to have toppings. Also, it's this guy again.
Frankly, I'm just gonna skip.
You forfeit the Resolve, Glass, and Inspiration rewards from this encounter.
Oh. Well, time to figure out if I can win with very little HP.
But that's abysmally low HP.
It just got
worse. Made even lower. Okay.
Well, didn't work. Ooh. I tried.
Okay, what can you craft? Sketch of the Mighty Heroine.
Fortunately, I didn't get a whole lot of those.
Well, you definitely want to talk with Allison. She would like the sketch of the Mighty Heroine. Allison insists on superiority of pour-over coffee with a high-quality grinder. Reference revealed the sketch of a mighty heroine.
Bungee cord. Increase your projectile speed. Oh, but I don't have enough.
Oh.
Because I am bad. I gotta check something. Access the options. Oh, I don't know. Whatever, doesn't matter. I have no gift for Fernando, even though Fernando is really the one that I want to upgrade. Kind of.
Mm-hmm. You don't have any gifts on you. You do have just 50. Wouldn't you want the font of life? Or 10% sand for destroyed keepsakes.
Yeah,
so that
so
just
that's
increases
recycling
what
bonus.
You could. Mm-hmm.
There we go. This is a pleasant little roguelike. I don't know how I want to handle this. I think... Oh, can I chit-chat with Bruce? No. But I can chit-chat with her.
Rose asked Cassidy if they saw the band play down at the Spartan Theater last night.
They like live music.
They like
unsurprisingly.
Music, yes.
But yeah, I'm still not entirely sure if this is the kind of game that I'd really want to include you on for the duration. I guess it's not so bad, but there's a lot of just me trying and failing, and eventually I'll succeed. But it's a lot of trying and failing, at least for the time being.
We get to talk about odds and ends.
It's true. But
I do like how her apartment is coming together, though.
It is really coming together. It's looking nice.
Though it just seems to be a room. I wonder where the bathroom and kitchen...
I think she just has like a... Oh, you're right. Maybe she's got roommates.
That looks like a closet. But you're right. Maybe it's a larger house that she's renting a room from, or...
Yeah, that makes sense. Because this looks kind of like a living room that's been converted kind of into a...
She also might be on an upper level.
Yeah, maybe.
If you notice.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. For now, though, we'll be stopping here. I'm tired. I have no idea how to access the menu. I don't think it's supposed to be just pausing the game when I press this button, but it does. So, hopefully it saves? Because if it isn't, I don't know... I don't know how to quit.
It's not in the options menu or at the
desk? I can't access
desk
the
or
options
the journal?
menu.
Journal? Dream journal? Does it have it?
It's supposed to be here. But no, these are...
That's just your memories load out.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then I get stuck in this where I can't walk.
It had a saving symbol.
Yeah, so hopefully it's saved. I don't know. Alt F4. Anyway, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.